definitely cannot be online very long, but I thought it was a great time to offload some thoughts that I have collected over my day. And my first goal with this is I hope that my phone literally does not fall off because I don't have it very secure. So if it does, then you can have a laugh at that. So today I want to talk about that title that I didn't get to write on this stream for some reason. My app kept crashing. But today's topic is about how I had a stupid person at work today ask me if I was in a bad mood. And the reason I called them stupid is because it's one of those examples of someone who doesn't know you misjudging you for a simple act. It almost feels like it's because you merely exist. So the story goes as follows. I was on the register. I have this old lady customer who's kind of irregular, but she is someone who I don't necessarily see every day. I feel like I see her once a week. Well, I wish that you guys knew me, but when it comes to my job performance, I don't play. I am fast, accurate, efficient, and over the years, especially as I become more specialized and better at what I do, that the best way I can describe it is it has intimidated the fuck out of some people. I get accused or even reported with my management for mistreating people's groceries, even though I'm handling them with care. I believe I shared this story with you guys, but basically, one time a guy complained with me about how I was handling his blueberries. He thought that I was throwing them and that I'm a horrible person, and he knows exactly the kind of person I am. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, no substance, no weight to it, whatever. Well, today's old lady, this was an older guy too, the guy who complained about the way I was handling the blueberries. Today's old lady, she is weak physically. She's always like, I need you to bag my bags light. I remember your face. I'm doing it anyway. But in her defense, it's okay for her to request that because just because I know that's how she wants it, it doesn't mean that she should stop telling people that's how she wants things. That's not the point here. But basically, I was by myself today. My colleague, my co-cashier who should have been there today, wasn't there today. The job that I was supposed to have done today wasn't at the register. It was somewhere else. So I had to be at the register to cover for the hole on the schedule. Needless to say, I already do this every day, which is work with a sense of urgency. But today, particularly, especially on a weekend, on a Saturday, literally our busiest day, and it's already picking up, my performance is going to be slightly higher than average. I'm going to not be top. My very, very, very best would be completely overdoing it. It's not necessary. But I'm going to be operating with a little bit more urgency. And what I mean by that is if I usually hung out with you and said something like, I hope you have a great rest of your day since you're telling me that you're going to hang out with your family at the park doing blah blah this and that, I'm going to cut it short and I'm going to make it very obvious that I'm doing that. I'll be like, thank you, have a good one, move on to the next person. And I will try to make your items as accessible to you as possible so you don't have to scramble and grab your things. Sometimes people don't have shopping carts with them, but they have multiple bags. I will collect the handles of the bags together for you to slide your hand through the holes on the handles, and that way you can be on your way out. I know how to facilitate your exit from customer service. That's just it. Like, if I could, maybe if I have the privilege of quitting one day, I will clandestinely record myself so that you guys get to see the techniques I use, because it's something that you just have to see live. You just have to see me doing it. I cannot just act it out here without being in the setting, because I won't be able to convey why I'm making the decision that I'm making. Customer service, very simple, very unskilled job, right? But there are some things that I feel that people in general could be doing who have that job, but you just don't. And that way, the customer is less likely to get frustrated at you for not assisting them entirely. So finally, this old lady asks me if I'm in a bad mood because, again, I'm moving fast, I'm moving much more efficiently than normal. I don't have time for her games. All I'm doing is, hey, how are you? I got your bags. I bagged them light. I gave her 5 bags for like 10 little ass items. I don't care. I took care of her. I hand her her receipt. She pays in cash. When that drawer opens, I can count the cash in like less than 5 seconds, especially if it's change that's very simple. It's not something like 97 cents with like 17 where you need to have a 10 and a 5 and 2 1 something. Sometimes change is so simple. I can grab the 5 and the 1 at the same time, and I can be grabbing the coins pretty much with one hand, doing both things. If I'm reaching for 6 cents, then it's nickels and the penny is right there next to each other. I can just go like that, grab it, and go. Some people don't understand that it's suitable for me to move at that speed for my safety because I'm handling money. And the faster I move, especially when my drawer is open, the less likely you are to possibly be a clown. And I don't need to get into detail with what I mean by that. So those are the things that I have in my mind. But someone like this old lady thinks that just because she's special needs, that the entire world owes her something and that I owe her something. And that's why she says, "Are you in a bad mood today?" And I said, "No. Are you?" I literally said, "No. Are you?" And she was just staring at me, saying nothing. And I stared right back at her. And I'm like, "Is there anything else I can help you with?" And then she just walked off, muttered, mumbled some stuff to herself. She's wearing a mask. So I really couldn't hear her very well. And on top of that, since it was picking up, the sound of people pushing their carts and speaking, there's a lot of background noise going on. I don't care what you say. I don't have to find out what you said because I'm impossible to offend. It's that simple. But something that helped me today when that situation happened is that one of you, and I remember exactly which one of you said this to me years ago, but I remember that I was discussing old people. And one of the things that you guys in the comments told me that changed my life and perception forever is that you said that sometimes old people just lack confidence. And if we apply the blueberry guy and then this lady, which she made the comment of me being in a bad mood because of how quick and swift, and it may look or sound like I'm being aggressive with the way I'm handling things, but again, I've been doing that shit for 11 years. I'm confident about what I'm doing. I don't have to look at the bags to be putting the items inside of the bag. It just, whoosh, it happens as if air is just flowing past me. That's what you have. That's what you get. That's what you develop when you specialize at your role and don't quit your goddamn job so much. I'm a pilot, except essentially. You know how a pilot needs to put in, how much is it, 10,000 hours or so to become good at what they do? Whatever the fuck the number is, that's what I am. I have put thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Oh, it feels like years, but it's hours. I meant to say, sorry, I got distracted by something also. I have put in the thousands of hours to my craft, and that's why I am at the level that I'm at. You didn't meet me when I just got hired. You didn't meet me a month into the job. You didn't meet me when I was younger and I had like timidity problems and the other shit that made me terrified of people. You're meeting me, encountering me, interacting with me at my best, at my prime. Stop feeling offended by efficiency. And I noticed that with people, people are so stupid that it's hard to completely please you, but sometimes you don't know why you're even unpleased. Because if the lines back up, you're mad. If I knock your ass order out quickly, you're intimidated by how fast and efficiently I did it. Commit to one thing. Either commit to being mad that you're having to wait a couple of extra minutes to be tended to, or commit to getting mad because you decide to not use self checkout because you're not even willing to serve yourself, or maybe you don't trust yourself, that you're not efficient at it, so you're into a professional. Commit to that. Then commit to trusting the professional that you're going to, and whatever kind of service you get from them, all you have to do is be grateful for it. Say things. Not all of my colleagues are going to be like me, in the same manner that I'm not going to be like all of my colleagues. Some of my colleagues like to entertain you. They like to interact with you and ask you personal questions, keep up with your shit. I don't do that. Some of my colleagues can be decent and also be a little extra with interactions. I prefer to focus on just doing that job. I specialize on just serving you within the definition of my role and nothing else. I don't have to keep up with your personal life. I don't have to know your name, things like that. So the expectations that other people gave you, say that one colleague who likes to talk to you, who I may have, you cannot expect that from me. I'm not meant to be the same as my colleague, in the same manner that my colleague is not supposed to be like me. I like to not be involved with your personal life, and I like to just focus on the job. That's me. But if someone else gives you a little extra, you cannot expect that little extra from me. Just stop being stupid. That's what it is. You are being stupid. So all I have to do to calm myself down when something like this happens is remind myself of that awesome comment that I got, which is that some people simply just lack the confidence. And when I think about her, and again, the blueberry guy, they're both disabled. They're both up there in age. And I'm not saying this to be discriminatory or be like, I'm always going to be young and I'm always going to be this mighty and invincible, right? Nothing like that. I know my place and I'm aware of the progression of life and the consequences that entails. But I'm just saying that the season in your life that you're in may be very different from mine. So you're meeting me when your season is like different when it comes to physical performance, for instance, and my performance when it comes to my profession is at its peak. Just shut up and be grateful that you even have that. Okay? Like I can go to places right now, right this second, where I know to get trash customer service. It's going to be slow and the person is going to be legit rude to me, and some of them don't even acknowledge my existence, and some of them may even be on their phone as they tend to me, or they may be wearing fucking headphones. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I've been seeing that a lot lately. Everywhere I go, it seems like you have at least one earbud on or both, and you're addressing me with that. Do I get offended by that? No, because I place my order, you fulfill it correctly. I don't need to be entertained because I'm not fucking needy like that. And I'm done. I'm through. Boom. Simple. How hard is that? So you guys, I'm gonna read your comments and after that I gotta go. So hey gorgeous, how are you tonight? I'm great, Holger, thanks for asking. Me and my wife use the term Zamgri in honor of your rants. Perfect. Thank you. In fact, from now on, if I remember after I go home, I'm going to create a playlist and I'm going to call it Zangri. Zangri rants. I'm going to dump all of the videos in which I talk like this. Now I wish that I would have, classified my videos well to where I know which ones are my angry rants from over the years, but I guess from this point on, I can start that playlist, and every time I start bitching and moaning like I am right now, I put it in there. I think that's a great idea, actually. Zangry. And I have used that in real life too. I'm like, I'm so fucking zamgry right now, or zangry, whichever one comes out. I'm not sure if I like zamgry or zangry better. But yeah, you guys, that's what I mean. All I need in life from anyone who I encounter, which this is unfair for me to expect from everybody, right? We're people going through different shit. But all I need you to do is stop being easily offended. God damn it. That shit just pisses me off. How are you an adult? How did you make it this far? And flies buzzing by you upset you? How? How did we build highways? How did we build these stupid ass buildings that the wind blows on them and the shingles blow out? Things like that. How did we invent so much, but now we get ended? We get floored by how somebody pushes the bag of your groceries to you, or by how one places the groceries inside of your bags. Stupid ass first world problems. I don't get it. We're supposed to be getting better. But no, instead, here we are discussing dumbass things politically that we shouldn't even be discussing. I mean, nothing that benefits your health, nothing that benefits public safety, nothing that helps people at, I don't know, making a couple of extra dollars. Like, stop taxing me to I lose half of what I'm supposed to be making. Shit like that. And what my taxes go to don't even benefit me directly. Or like retirement money that I can only claim when I'm fucking 65, which I'm probably not even gonna make that far. What I mean, life is just a massive scam to me, and I'm sick of it. You know, just working to get by. That'll make anybody angry. And unfortunately, when I try to explain this to some people just refuse to get it, because some of you, the ones that I clash with, y'all were born when times were somewhat better, and I guess politically things worked a little better too. And anyone who lived through the 70s, you either had a great time or the worst time of your life, whatever. Well, try my life, which has been a bad life my entire time. My young years have not been fun years, and I'm not getting this time back. But fortunately, the little older I get, the more that I'm reconciling with that loss that I have experienced. I'm learning to have a little bit of fun now. But every time I'm building something or progressing at something, some bullshit happens and I have to pedal backward. That shit will piss anybody off. So, no, I'm not going to take you seriously when you complain about me and my job performance because you can't handle it. Because your prime is over and you just cannot stand that someone out here is performing well. Maybe you had your prime too. Maybe you were the best in your field whenever your time was due, you know? Those times are gone. Let it go. Let it go. Just like I had to let go of the fact that my father was never present in my fucking life and how that has affected me. I let it go. And I only bring it up to explain to you how I got to where I'm at. Period. We do that. We study history. Well, I, as a human being, have a history too. Study it, comprehend it, learn it. Or else, shut up. Your history as a customer, I know who and what you are. Shut up. Like, I can even guess what you're getting ready to say before you even say it. That's why I do it without you even saying it. Shut up. You need to learn the power of silence. Shut up. Shut up. Anyways, you guys, one comment, and after that I really gotta go. I'm sorry. I went out to dinner with my friends last night. We had a great time and food was excellent. However, service was slow and the waiter was wearing a mask and had an ear pod on. He was slow. See, distracted ass workers. If you're going to do that, at least be efficient. But there are some people who, when they wear something like that, something like earbuds, you do not know how to multitask. You do not know how to actively continue to listen to someone. Like, I remember, I'll never forget being a teen. My mom and I would be in the kitchen with my laptop on our dinner table. She would be in the kitchen telling me a story. I would have the cat that I had at the time on my lap. And I could be listening to music, humming, typing an email, listening to her story, and engaging with her at the same time. That is not a skill that the person from today has. I don't know if because your neurons got damaged by the great event from 4 years ago, or if you legit have like attention span issues because this is like the TikTok generation or whatever it is. That is not a problem that I have. So if it's a problem that you have, recognize what is hindering your capacity and let it go. Maybe stop drinking so much caffeine. Maybe stop drinking alcohol. Maybe start exercising more. Maybe start making better choices with eating. Maybe sleep more. Maybe spend less time on the phone. Maybe, fucking maybe, to modify your life a little bit. I know that there's a bunch of shit I want to do that I cannot do and shouldn't do. And one of them is being sedentary. When I come back from a shift, I don't want to move. I don't want to see people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to feel anything. I want my sensory perception to be disabled until the next day. But I know I shouldn't because I have to be functional. See what I mean? So I feel like in the case of going back to this old lady, I feel like she wants some of her sensory perception to be catered to, which is she gets easily like scared by things, and I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Like, I know I'm putting it like that and I'm exaggerating it because I come from a place of hurt. Like, I haven't had recreation, real, true, genuine, legit recreation since like in February. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I'm salty over that as well. I'm not using that to justify my behavior because unless I told you, you guys would have no idea. I'm still acting the same, still making my same jokes, still showing up to my shifts, still interacting with my mom the same way, with my boyfriend the same way. And some of you who I may text or email, you may not pick up on it unless I tell you. But, you know, I'm willing to let you know that my appearance is I'm getting by, but it's not optimal. But just stop messing with me. I don't mess with you. Don't mess with me. Because if I start messing with you, then that's going to escalate the situation. And I don't do that. I avoid bullshit. You know, I avoid confrontation as much as I avoid the plague. See what I mean? So anyways, okay, for real now, I'm breezing through the comments and I will try to come back to streaming soon. It's been challenging for me. So anyway, the waiter seemed apathetic. I usually tip well, but not in this case. Exactly. Speak with your money. Only tip if you feel like it was legit justified. Customer service is not the job for you. Customer service is the job for me. It just isn't from perspective of when a person is unreasonable. But if you're actually on your best behavior, I love doing customer service. When my customers are normal, which is fortunately 97% of them, I have a blast. It is great. I like what I'm doing. I like the act of being a cashier, the act of doing returns, the act of reporting anything that they say. Like, for instance, oh, I had to return this because it made me sick. It's like, oh shit, let me report this to the department so that they evaluate which batch this was, blah, blah, blah. I can deal with that. The only thing I hate about customer service is dumbass, stupid, goddamn people. That's it. But if you're normal, like me, like you, we're gonna have a great time. Customer service is the job for me. It's the job for everybody because you are serving. The only reason you have a job is because you're serving a purpose. Some customers are direct, some customers are indirect. But for me, when you actually behave like a normal person and you allow me to be a professional, you'll see. That's why I have lasted 11 years. If customer service wasn't for me, I would have left that shit within the first year. Even though I don't have options, I would have found the option. Or I would live homeless. I don't care. But I find the solution. So I see why you might think that, especially with the way I'm sounding. And I'm just tired because at some point, dealing with ungrateful ass bitches will put you like this. But customer service, I think if you dominate it, which I do, it is a very rewarding job. But the problem is that you see that stuff doesn't get better. The only reason I'm salty with customer service now, whereas years ago I used to deal with it so much better, is because I don't know what the fuck happened after the fucking pandemic. And especially with people being stressed and inflation, something just changed in people's brain where y'all are up your primal beings. And I understand because I get agitated too, like my bills accumulate and shit like that. But that is not an excuse to come out here and act like a clown. But when I think about it critically, and I think about times when I have been desperate, this boils down to poverty. I feel like the worst people I deal with, it's one of the two extremes. Either you're from the wealthy class, which you just think that the world exists to serve you, and you think that your existence is the only one that matters, or if you're a product of poverty, which I am, then yeah, you're going to have stressors acting against you, and it's going to make it seem difficult to hold on and commit to something. So like, it's pretty tricky. It's a pretty tricky thing. But trust me, I would have been the one to admit that customer service is not for me. Hello, Zam. I hope you will make the rest of the weekend fun. I'm going to try, but there's some stuff that I just have, and some with it has to involve mom too. So we'll see. Have a great night. You too. I think you would flourish in CSI for EMT or EMT. Everybody says that, and it makes sense. I do come from a family that have experiences in those things. I'm just not interested in that kind of individual and the kind of stress, special kind of stress that that brings. And if you guys remember, I don't like to be really close with people. And EMT, I automatically assume that I'm going to have to get up close and personal with you and touching people, and that's not something I tried to do. And when it comes to, what was the other thing you said? CSI. I really do not know much about the CSI world like that, but I just know that a profession that, well, there you go. I told you that I was going to drop this. A profession in which it seems to be more of you're a pillar of society. That's not the profession for me. I would have major commitment problems. I won't surprise if this kind of experience happens again with another elder folk. In my last jobs, I kind of saw they would prefer more attention and even distractions than objective services. Yes, thank you. Your comment expresses and sums up better my sentiment that I was trying to convey. I get it. You guys are old, your children are grown, nobody visits you. You have like difficulty moving, you have health problems, blah, blah, blah. All of the shit that's working against you. Some of your senses are starting to go, your smell, your sight, your hearing, blah, blah, blah. Prepare for that shit. Anticipate it and recognize when it's upon you. And I don't know about you guys, but if I can anticipate that something is getting ready to happen, I embrace it a little better. Don't be intimidated by it. I too am going to get old one day and I'm going to turn into that person. What you try to do is establish things to work for you before that tragedy is upon you. If you are susceptible to being lonely, create and maintain meaningful connections, but don't be so clingy. I feel that's a problem that some people have. Like, I stopped trying to be uberly kind to people. Like, I'm a completely different person now than I was 10 years ago when I started customer service. And it's because I was trying to care. I was trying to really do my very best in the role and be very human and very, how can I describe this? Extra, be genuine, be there for you, because you guys know my philosophy is the point of being alive is to relieve misery. But that shit was consuming me, it was destroying me. I got stalked and things like that. You all don't know how to handle that. You misunderstand that. You think by me being kind like that, I may be interested in getting involved with you. No. So I would rather not entertain the person at all, to not give them the opportunity for that misunderstanding, than, like, and be a little more for some people. But it brought me so many problems before that I didn't deserve. And I think that it's best if I just stick to the checklist. And that's what I do. Even though the company wants you to establish connections and relationships to increase the basket size because you're greedy, and I don't get paid based on how much I ring up, because if I did, all of my colleagues wouldn't make any money, then you know what I mean? Give me a proper incentive. And unfortunately, with the state of people's health nowadays, mentally, I don't know if you guys have been seeing that people are talking about this a lot. This is a real thing. Unfortunately, it's something that we're dealing with. Some people are going through rough times and they don't know how to cope. And sometimes they hope that a stranger, um, you may run into a stranger like me, who I still have a life, I'm still well spirited, I still have energy and my enthusiasm and all that, which I don't project really well in my videos, but in person, I'm definitely that person who's always being goofy and shit. Then you see that and you want to be a part of that, but you cannot cling on to me. I may not be interested in you. We don't have things in common, and that's okay. So leave me alone. You're in a different season now. Maybe when you were young, you had your season, when you were flooded with people. That season is over. Let it go. That's all you gotta do. Let it go. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go now.